Hello friends, welcome back to Vue JS tutorial. In this video, we are going to discuss about Vue JS lifecycle hooks. Just like every framework, Vue have its own life cycle. Means before creation to after the destructions. Means these lifecycle hooks actually called at the specific point in the life of a Vue component, right? And it's calling from the creation to destructions. So there are lots of functions, there are multiple things which are actually responsible to get each and every point so that we can understand our state, in which state we have my applications, in which state we have our DOM, in which state we are going to modify or mounting our DOM, so we can understand through the lifecycle hooks. This video actually is little theoretical, it needs to understand better. So firstly, when we discuss about the lifecycle hooks, the first thing is how it's created, means what are the first step when we load any Vue applications. So firstly, creation also have two things, one before create and the created. Actually, before created called before data is set up, or you can say reactivity is set up, and after the setup it's called the created. Okay, so this is the creation part, and in the every step we have a before create functions, we have a created functions. So when you want to use the particular functions for a particular points of our execution time, we can use that functions. I will explain with the example. First learn the theoretical part. After the creation, the next operation is mounting. Also, these are the two things, before mount and after mount. And the purpose of before mount is to activate or it actually called before the components mounted to the actual DOM, right? And after the mount into the DOM, then the mounted property will call, or mounted functions will call. Next, the updating, actually before update and update it. Actually, if you say it's called, if you say the before update called before the DOM is updated. So creation is the first things when you create or when you set up our reactive property into the Vue's applications, and after that the next thing is mounting, right? So it's before mount and after mount. After the mount our application is okay, means we can see all the things. Then we are going to update some things, uh, before update and update, means our DOM is fully loaded, now we are going to update, then it's called the before update. And when the update is done, actually it's called updated. And the last thing is, as we are mounting, we need to unmount that things, so it's before unmount and the unmounted. Okay, so before unmount is called right before the component is permanently removed, and when it's actually removed, then it's called the unmounted functions. So let's explain all the things step by step with the example. So if you see, we have our applications. This is the app view, and this is another component. The lifecycle example view actually I just created to show you how actually it's working. In the script sections, we can see in the export default sections, we have the functions which I just discussed, just like creation functions, mounting functions, updating functions, and unmounting functions. We write down all the things step by step. First, before create, then created, before mount, and then mounted, before update, and after updated, or after update is called updated actually, before unmount and unmounted. How actually it's working? So if you check in the app view, we have called this lifecycle example dot view. Actually, I just going to load the things. Let's see what function or which functions actually call. We will see step by step. So just go to our URL. First, when you're going to load our application, Actually, it's called the before create functions. Data not yet reactive. This is the first step. This is the initial step when you're going to render applications. After that, you can see it's created. Data is reactive, but count equal to some things means there is no anything, means we are not getting this property and it's called. Okay, this count it's not getting. Then it's created. Okay, so actually it's going to read these things. Now after the created, it's going to mount into the DOM. So how we can say, so template is not yet in DOM, so let's okay, and then it's calling before mount, means view application will just going to render into the DOM just before the movement. If you want to catch, then we can write before mount, and after that we are getting the component is now in the DOM. So component is ready. Okay, so these are the four things before create the DOM. Actually these are actually created. Now here we have one things, that is the toggle life cycle, and here I added conditions v if show. By default show is true, that's the reason we are getting this component. Now when we will change, it will become false, right? So just click on that. Let's say what actually going. Now toggle lifecycle example, I just going to click on that things. Actually it's before unmount, it's mounted. Here you can see the mounted the DOM. Now I just going to remove, means I just going to toggle, then it's actually unmounting the DOM. So it's before unmounts. You can see in the background, we can see component is about to remove. Now click on OK. So component has been removed, right? Now again we are just going to click on that things. Again it's before create, then created, then before mount, and the mounted. Then we'll get. Now another things, here I just going to write some things in the button. When you click on the button, we will going to change, or we will going to change the reactive property count. So now I just going to update something. So it should call before update and updated. So click on the increment. DOM is about to update, means it's not updated yet, but it's about to update. And now click on OK. DOM has been updated. So okay, it's 1. So these 8 functions for creation, mounting, updation, and unmounting, these are the base of your life cycle in Vue JS, right? So based on these functions, actually step by step all the functions actually load. If you use that functions, you will get effect. Means sometimes if you want to get any things or any point of time, you're just going to do something before the mount, then you can use the before mount. Or sometimes you want to change the mounted functions, means we just mount it, but we are going to change the mounted functions. So that time we can use the mounted, and after the mounted we can get the DOM, we can get effect of the DOM into your browser. Then we can see, we can unmount that, we can again mount, all the things we can do, and every point of time we can catch that things. Okay, so when you're going to create any live application, you can understand sometimes you need some points of time, you want to update some data, so that time you may need these type of functions. Okay, so these are the core things. Basically this is the theoretical part. Actually it's very important things when you're going to understand when you're going to create your applications. Okay, so hope you can understand. So next day we are going to discuss about one of the interesting things. We're going to move into the routing part. Okay, so enough we are doing. So we already published 24-25 videos on Vue.js. Now I just going to create a navigation. I just going to create or some routing concept. Okay, so hope we will see in our next video. So please like and subscribe this channel for upcoming video. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day.